How to install King Shock front coilovers on a 2500 or 3500 Sprinter two-wheel drive chassis, dually or non-dually. Just a quick disclaimer, please make sure to watch the entirety of this video before installing this product. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call or email us at sales@vanupoffroad.com. If you do get to a point where this installation might just be a little bit too much, feel free to check out one of our installation centers in Davis, California or Mesa, Arizona. This kit includes front strut replacements with a coilover, sway bar links, and a two-wheel drive spacer kit, and all the hardware necessary for installing. The following is a list of tools needed in order to complete this installation. The first thing we're going to do is jack the vehicle up and remove the wheels. Next, we're going to remove the interior floor panels to expose the top of the shocks. We're going to use a T25 for the driver's side floor panel. We're going to go ahead and remove the panel that's inside the driver's side footwell, just below the center console. This is where your battery disconnect is, and we are just going to pull the plug out and disconnect the battery. Because this is a two-wheel drive chassis, we don't have a CV axle. So we're going to go ahead and use a jack to hold the hub in place so it doesn't go left or right and shift in position. At this point, we can remove the sensors. Once your sensors are pulled, you can go ahead and use your 21mm socket to start unbolting the strut bolts here. Just leave one in there, and that's going to hold everything in place until you're ready to pull the strut. Now you can remove the four 13mm top shock bolts and the brace. Now that everything's loose up top, you can go ahead and pull your 21mm bolt out and remove the shock. Now you can go ahead and disconnect your sway bar end link with an 18 millimeter. And now we're just going to repeat steps 6 through 10 on the opposite side. Next, we're going to grab one sway bar end link, a bracket, 3 bolts, 6 washers, and 3 nylon nuts, and 1 spacer. We're going to remove the 16 millimeter bolt, the one closest to the front of the vehicle, and put our bracket in loosely for now. Next, we insert the bolt with the spacer, washers, and nut into the bottom hole of the bracket. Take your new sway bar end link and have the longer end towards the bracket. Use the King logo as reference, have the K at the top and the G towards the bottom.
And then this will connect up here.
With your new sway bar end link installed, tighten the 3 19 millimeter bolts. Once your end link is in place, go ahead and revisit that 16 millimeter bolt on the bracket and tighten it down. Repeat steps 12 through 17 on the opposite side. Now we're going to revisit our OEM strut and we're going to remove a few pieces. This includes the top hat, the washer on top of it, and then a washer from the boot that's on the shock.
This we are not using. This we are. These.
Now this may seem silly, but make sure that you remove the cardboard from the top of the shock. Now we're going to reuse that washer, top hat, and the other washer and put it on the new strut. Then we're going to apply some anti-seize onto the threads and then run our nut right back on the top.
You're going to want the new bolt, but you're going to need anti-seize. Very important to use anti-seize. Just a dab. And then we're going to take a 24 millimeter and you can do
Now we can tighten up the top shock bolt, the 24 millimeter, while holding the inner shaft, the 11 millimeter, until it bottoms out.
earlier than us because they start an hour earlier than us.
Next, we measure the coil length to make sure that it's 9 3/4 inches. Slide your new shock into place and align it using those OEM 21mm bolts that came out from the original strut.
Kick one.
Quick tip, remove the jack from the hub and place it under the ball joint, then proceed to jack it up. Align your top hat holes as best as possible with the holes in the frame. From inside the cab, place your 4 13mm bolts with a dab of blue Loctite into the top hat holes and tighten down to secure the shock.
You're just going to want to hand thread them first so that you don't strip them. Now that they're all started, we can go ahead and zap.
Next, we use our 24mm socket and tighten down the top shock bolt.
That's tight.
We will then reattach our sensors.
Okay.
Remove the 6 21mm hub bolts and the dually spacer and clean behind the old dually spacer with a wire wheel to remove any surface rust.
You still recording?
Yeah. Dab some anti-seize on the back of your new wheel spacer. Next, we're going to seat the spacer to the dually spacer. Apply red Loctite to the 22mm bolts that come in the kit and thread them in. Repeat steps 19 through 33 on the opposite side. Now that everything is tight, everything has been installed correctly, you're ready to put the wheels back on the vehicle, and it's all set up for an alignment. If you like the content you're seeing, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any questions at all while installing this kit, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We're always happy to help.